this time, the chair would entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss, I believe what we have is personnel matters this evening.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
the motion, we enter executive session, provide, I get a second.
All right, it's been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by, you'll have with Pastor Jackson this go around. To enter executive session, did you have a particular reason that we were going to executive session?
Personnel matters.
Okay, I thought that's what you were saying. Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. 7-0. Thank you. We will enter executive session not to exceed 6:30.
They already been notified. Okay, perfect. It feels good. It feels good. Don't adjust the air. Actually, I have one, but thank you. How are you doing? Good to see you.
Did you see how he met with
Yes. And before I prove it, who runs the city? That is. Okay.
What happened is the secretary sent it to me.
Okay.
And then I sent it back to the secretary.
Okay.
See, I don't have a secretary, so the way the system is, because I'm entering it, it gives me the option to send it back to Ms. Brown, but Ms. Brown isn't here.
Okay.
But it won't let me, I don't have my name on the list.
Okay.
Because if she generated it, then my name will be on her.
Okay. I did.
Okay, okay.
Benefit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we just talk about school stuff, of course. Yeah, conflict emotional.
Season, sometimes we have to work out.
Oh, okay, okay. Maybe that energy for the day, delegation.
I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we stand a lot.
Right. Focus and that synergy. That would be working easy for me, because I could have been 9 o'clock.
You live in Columbia?
I do. Yeah, I think about 40.
It's not bad. Just get on 215.
Or about this, sometime on Grove Crossing, 77.
Really got on 34. That's not what you do. You live on this side.
On your inside.
So, you know, Richmond,
No, actually, off of Clemson Road.
yeah, so you get home, eat, go to bed.
I need to be doing yoga exercise, so I think it's okay for anything.
And I stopped watching TV and turned on.
Yeah, because I just.
When I go to work, I pull up, he's got a guy,
Just went back to
clips.
counting.
You know where it's all.
I gave somebody,
And it's stressful.
I gave somebody.
TV clips. You know, just, that, I don't know, just, soundtrack.
we do all the positions.
Well, you know, Mark, you know, the lady.
I might just topple over if I could.
Well, what it is, you're on the ground, you just, you anchor, but, you know, you get, more flexible, about it, increases flexibility. Now, some strength.
Well,
Well, we were always, anyway, because Beth had to shoot diabetic and cancer. And I do even better.
Okay.
Maybe, you know, maybe less than that. So I keep my weight down. It's good. We were call the highs. Because really a car diabetic, the high is what you call it.
So with the less carbs as possible.
Less carbs, but you're supposed to have 30, 45 grams
Okay.
a meal. One slice of bread can be 22. So you eat a hamburger, that's 40, 55. So you have to, so Beth and I go out there, we got a burger, she may get it without the bun on the side, or we split the fries, you know, kind of like
That makes
downstairs.
sense, that makes sense.
Candy, something starts with sugar. But it's, so it becomes a way of life, you know. But I like to go out a lot, I'm not 70.
Oh, I never guessed. No, we like that.
So, going to bed early, not watching it, you gotta get something.
Not being stressed out.
Yeah, the other night, about 2 weeks ago, I said, I'm gonna watch a show, I think it was Blue Bloods. Because then, the way I came on 8 to 9, well, that was pretty good. And then this Sunday night, about 3 weeks ago, and at 9 to 10, well, I watched that one. And then 10 to 11 was continued.
Oh, so you had to watch that,
Oh, it
finish it out.
ended at midnight. I said, man,
Cause
I
you
was
had to
there.
finish it out.
I said, that's it, not watching anymore. I may watch a game on Saturday, watch the Gamecocks play on Saturday. But I just, you know, just trying to redo, kind of change things.
Uh-huh.
So thanks for listening.
Oh, no
I'm
problem.
gonna check on you next time we'll be together.
Okay, okay. I'm not looking, even if I have to topple over, I'm gonna try.
You will.
Oh, goodness. You have to keep me on straight.
This one is.
Yeah, he's on my instructional facilitator. I don't have an assistant, but he kind of serves like, he's like the right hand and the left hand. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I depend on him for a lot.
And then now you can count on him and trust him. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, you ladies having a good year, shit? You having a good year? Good. Miss Soul, how you doing up there?
Good, I'm coming back.
I saw Kevin flying in here. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, how you doing?
Doing good. Had to go up here and formal this meeting, y'all.
Well,
How you doing, sir? Good. I'm looking at the time. I'm supposed to look at Fantasia tonight. Just at the fair. Like, how many more minutes do I have before they come on stage? You think I might be able to make it down? I don't know if she has somebody come on before her. It's like, that's gonna be a good $20 ticket for somebody. And somebody, I forgot, who's the old school group they got coming tomorrow? Is it the OJ or something like that? It's somebody old school they have coming tomorrow.
she should have been coming.
That's a good way to keep everybody out.
Yeah. All the time I didn't even think about it. Once I had this too. Didn't even think about it. I don't know what they do. No, until Did you see the houses? They got nice. Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. I think one house is like 16 It's the same situation. Yeah, I don't know. Because I found out late in the morning, it's like she's done it 2 years in a row.
Right.
I said, can't go and sit there.
You sit right there. I just want to.
We were just chatting for a moment. How
No,
are you?
you keep that on the rents.
Hey, I know you. I know you, Mr. Ray.
Okay, yes.
I'm Denise. Okay. Anyway, you said last week? I yeah. I hadn't looked at it. We got back, but yeah. I remember seeing it.
Okay.
Technical issue. All right. At this time, Chair will entertain a motion to exit executive session.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we exit executive session. Provide I get a second.
It has been been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Mr. Davis to enter the executive session, which no action was taken. All those in favor indicated by raising your right hand. We have 6-0. President Jackson's on his way. All right. Turn it over to our secretary for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Did you do the pledge?
Welcome. Thank y'all for being here.
Let us all stand for the pledge of allegiance. And the flag is I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
All right, this time, Chair will entertain a motion in regards to the approval of this evening's agenda.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented. Provided I get a second.
All right. Second. It's been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Mr. Davis to approve the agenda. Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the agenda indicate by raising your right hand. I believe that's 7-0. Thank you. Public comment?
Yes, we have two, Mr. Herb Rents and Ernest Yarborough, but you come up. 5 minutes.
Thank you, Dr. Green, Chairman Frick, for this opportunity to update the board, the staff, and the faculty on Beth Reed's scholarship fund that was started about 1 year ago on this coming Friday, October 19th, 2017. This fund will be with the College of Charleston. Beth was a 1980 graduate of the College of Charleston. She was a PE major, gained her certification there at PE. She also played college basketball under Coach Nancy Wilson. This is the agreement, and it's still in draft form, but we're almost finalizing it. It's an agreement to establish the Elizabeth R. Reed Memorial School of Education, Health and Human Performance Scholarship. Purpose and background. The purpose of this gift is to create a non-endowed fund to provide scholarships for students majoring in any degree within the School of Education, Health, and Human Performance. The scholarship is renewable, provided the recipient continues to meet stated criteria. $10,000 starts the process, $50,000 endows it. And the key, when it's endowed, it's in perpetuity. It's forever. It doesn't go away. This is pretty special. I met with Dr. Green numerous times, and one of my friends in Rock Hill who went through this with his wife, who went gave me some advice. So excited about this with College of Charleston. Now, the requirements include the recipient must be a South Carolina resident. The recipient must be a rising sophomore, junior, or senior. The recipient must have highest preferences to be given to a Fairfield County resident, followed in preference for a Chester County or Newberry County resident. All rural counties we called in Great Falls and Chester County, so that ties. We have family, my wife has family out of Newberry. Undergraduate or graduate degree students majoring in education. So it's not just for the undergraduate. Student athletes or students who participate in intramural activities, ROTC or veteran students. That's a preference list. One person may meet all the preferences and they may get the nod. All criteria must be in compliance with federal and state laws and foundation policies. A bio will accompany the site, so when you go there, the recipient, people look at it, the apply for the scholarship, they'll see the bio. Much like the bio that was in Beth's obituary at the funeral home, my daddy's son, because I couldn't remember everything when we wrote this. We'd like to add that scholarship recipients shall be selected by the School of Education, Health and Human Performance based on the criteria described that I already read. Mr. Robinson helped with this, Dr. Starr, that was my principal at Great Falls High School, Dr. Green helped, and thanks for allowing me to pass this one. And I'll keep y'all up to date on it, Mr. Judge Trent. I got about 4 minutes left, Ms. Harris.
No, you don't.
I want to also mention that Saturday, we're having a breast cancer, first annual 2018 breast cancer walk for life. Keep going, Fairfield County. I was selected only male to be on the committee, and I felt an honor to work with the ladies that put this. It's going to be at the Mount Zion School in front of it, from 10 to 2 this Saturday. We'll have food vendors, we'll have other vendors, we'll have handouts, we'll have mammogram information, DJ. I'm going to do a pep talk, get everybody, pull out my coaching duties out, get everybody pepped up to walk. The track, 5 laps is 1 mile. So it's going to be exciting, and we've got a lot of people coming. So thank you. Thanks for the, I probably have 2 minutes left now.
No, 24 seconds.
Just saw the microphone, but I don't think I need it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank y'all.
What time you said starts? It's the,
Starts at 10, ends at 2.
okay.
Chairman Frederick, how do I follow a man who comes before this board with a bag of money? That's a tough act to follow. First of all, my name is Ernest Yarborough, and most of you know who I am. Haven't been here so long, most of you probably thought I was dead. As a matter of fact, when Justice Finney died, the phone was blowing up. People calling me, trying to verify whether I was still alive. Well, I haven't been here for 2 reasons. One, you hired Dr. Green. He caused me not to have to show up. Because honestly, I've been sitting back like an antiviral software, watching what's going on in my beloved county that I'm about to return to. Dr. Green was doing such a great job, he stopped my phones from ringing. No reason to come. And I really mean that as a compliment, that he has brought such a, I guess, professionalism to this county, and there was no need for me to show up. The second reason I wasn't showing up is that after my wife died of cancer, I remarried. The next thing you know, within 5 years, I had 3 babies at 59, I'm 59. And they keep me busy. I love them, I tell you the truth. I thank God for them. So that kind of keeps me busy. But an incident occurred on September the 12th. I started my phone to ring. And it rang off the hook. And I decided to listen to see what people were saying. I'm with an organization called South Carolina Citizens for Justice. I'm the president of the organization. I guess you could say it was similar to air shopping on a local level. At one point, we had about 18,000 members. Now, it's probably 1,200 because I was trying to close it out. But the phone started to ring on the 12th. And I listened, and I listened. And by the time I sit down, I'm going to make 3 requests to you. I'm not going to say a whole lot about the September 12th incident because that incident is a personnel matter that's making its way through the system pursuant to your rules. But what I want to say about that incident at this point is that the chance of those 2 individuals who are employees receiving any type of justice is almost similar to a snowball in Hades. I didn't say hell, I didn't violate the rules, but in Hades, they're not going to get justice. Because procedurally, something has occurred in the process that is a total deviation from your procedural rules. Your rules are set up, very simple rules, very good rules. And it says basically what's supposed to occur is at the step 1 level, the individuals are supposed to talk to the supervisor, and they're supposed to resolve these issues at the lowest administrative level. That hasn't occurred here. What happened is, I don't want to go into his name, but the supervisor whom I've talked with today, out of courtesy, basically made a step 1 decision. there was some concern of whether or not the step one, whether or not he was gonna be fair. So the attorney, and I know at least one of the employees has hired counsel. And they went to Dr. Green. Dr. Green made a step one decision, which was the same step one decision the supervisor had made. So now Dr. Green has taken himself out of the position where he's no longer the person to whom the appeal can be considered. But yet, he sent notice down to the individual to do an appeal. And now, the process is kind of convoluted. So the first request I'm gonna make tonight is that somehow the board take over what is occurring with that instead of allowing it to come through the system. You usurp the authority from Dr. Green, you usurp the authority from that transportation director, appoint someone who's neutral that can give them a full cup of justice. Those rules are good. Those rules stood the test of time. And you know, back in the day, I used those rules to the full extent. But at this point, at most, they will get a half cup of justice. Because who in their right mind, if Dr. Green has already made a step one decision, who's gonna overrule Dr. Green? You're the supervisor for Dr. Green, so how is Dr. Green now gonna make a step two decision? I'm almost finished, and I'm gonna ask for an extension of at least 30 seconds, but I'm almost finished. So first request is, take that out of his hands, to give him a full cup of justice. The second request I have is that these two individuals that were involved, the students I'm talking about, I won't go into details, they got protection. Somebody has to decide whether there is a statutory duty to report that incident. I've checked. No one has reported the incident to DSS, no one has reported to law enforcement, and I'm asking the board to make a decision collectively to determine whether or not Dr. Green has an obligation to report it. Because if something has occurred, if something has occurred in that home that gave rise, I don't want to go into the incident, but if it gave rise to the incidents occurring, somebody needs to report it. And the third request I want to make to this board is that my full-time job, I work with about 169 special needs students. We have homes that take care of them. I'm the manager. And what we do, we basically go in those homes, we take care of all these special needs students. And they are special, I've had to have special training to do. That law degree from Chapel Hill didn't even prepare me for it, so I've got special training how to deal with these individuals. We're taking bus drivers and we're putting them in head of these special needs students, and we're not giving them any type of training. So I'm gonna ask that you please give some type of special need training to those bus drivers. And Mr. Chairman, I can tell you, there's a new sheriff in town. You came out in 22 minutes out of executive session, and we really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is that everything in public comment?
Yeah.
All right, going down the agenda, this is presentation, I don't see anything under there, so next up is board minutes. This time the chair will entertain a motion regarding the September 18, 2018 board minutes.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to board members for September, with the stipulation that if there's any what's the word? Corrections, and provide me a second.
That's it.
Oh, we do that for that, yes. It's been motioned by Mr. Miller, it has been seconded by Pastor Jackson to approve the board minutes for the September meeting, provided any corrections or added. Any further discussion on the board minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. That's 5 negative, abstention, 2 abstention. Thank you. Superintendent report.
Chairman, first members of the board, I only have a couple of items I'd like to share with you today. First of all, I'm very excited about the completion of the Fairfield Central High School athletic field house. This has been quite a journey, and we are at the point of completion. We have tentative plans to do a grand opening this coming Friday before the Chester High School football game. I am still working with the athletic director and football coach to determine a time Right now, we're thinking about 5:30. You know, our coaches can be a bit superstitious, so I don't want to jinx Coach Davis and the football team by doing anything that's going to already be a formidable challenge. I mean, Chester's 9-0. This might be the best team Chester has had in decades. And so, I encourage you to come out. As I said earlier, this is a facility that will not only accommodate football, but will accommodate track, tennis, softball, accommodate cross country, and soccer. And so we're very excited that we'll do the grand opening of this facility come this Friday. Also, you probably see around the room some renderings of some teacher housing models. You know, we're very excited. We met with the county council, and when I say we, Dr. Rex and myself, as a function of the foundation, to talk about the tax incentive that we're asking them to provide. And so they were very receptive. It was in subcommittee, they will go to full committee. But the developer has sent some samples of the homes that would be available. As you see, they range anyway from about 1,200 square feet to about 1,300 square feet. As I said earlier, the plan is for 30 homes in the first phase. That project is still moving along, and we are very excited about that. I want to provide a little bit of clarification to something that was discussed during the last meeting that I think got a little confusing. So the total cost of the project to build the 30 homes is approximately $3.6 million. And there were some questions about whether the board or the county is going to have to come up with some of that 3.6. I want to say that the investment firm is paying the entire $3.6 million. The board nor the county is required to pay any of that 3.6. Now, there was some question about, well, what's the 600,000 versus the 3 million? And what Dr. Rex was simply stating is that the investment firm feels as if the tax incentive will provide them about $600,000 in revenue over the 7-year period. But it's not that the county council or the school district needs to come up with any money on the front end. So all of the funds required for this investment will come from the investment firm. And that's all I have, Jim.
I got one question. I thought you said, and I'm listening, you said 1,200, 1,300. I thought earlier you said 1,800 at least. So
Well,
it is
so-
1,800.
No. So I looked at what initially I thought it was up to 1,800, but looking at what they have on the renderings, it says 1,637.
1,637.
Yeah, 1,637.
Okay. Yeah. So from 1,200 to 1,637.
Yeah, so to be exact, Mr. Bill, I think they said the smallest model was 1,241 square feet. The largest model was 1,637 square feet.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
But not Dr. Green, the land that we gave to them, the 11 acres is collateral to the financial institution, is it not?
No. And so, remember, initially, the school district agreed to give the 22 acres of land to the foundation. And the foundation was trying to leverage that land to borrow money to build a home. Well, we ended up running across Golick Brothers, who said, we don't want to lend you the money to build a home. We want to come in and build the homes and own the entire complex. So since Golick Brothers is going to build and own and finance the entire project, they want to transfer the 11 acres that the first phase will be built on to Golick Brothers. As you can imagine, if they're going to invest $3.6 million in building these 30 homes, they don't want the land in somebody else's name. They would want the land in their name. So it isn't collateral against a loan. There is no loan. Golick Brothers is coming in and they're financing the entire project. They only request that the land in which they would build on would be transferred to their ownership.
Okay, so they own the land. We don't really know whether they collateralize the land or not. We know they own it and they want to put up the $3.6 million collateralizing it however they choose.
Well, in terms of getting into the intricate details of the financing part, Ms. McDaniel, I don't know that for a fact, but I'll simply say that Golick Brothers invest somewhere around $50 million a year in real estate ventures. Since they don't have the land at this point, they couldn't have collateralized it. And if they've already identified the funding, it's not based on any land that's been transferred.
So they signed all the financial transactions?
No, we hadn't closed the deal yet. Yeah, that hadn't been done at this point in time.
But land is, at the end of the day, if we go to the courthouse and look up that property that was once owned by the school district, it would be, those 11 acres only would be in their name, but the other 11 will still be in the name of the foundation.
Exactly. And so in terms of where it stands at this point, Ms. McDaniel, Golick Brothers is simply waiting on it to go through this process where the county council can identify it as a waiting for that process to be completed, and at that point, they are ready to move forward.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
Basically what you're saying, is what the county is, they're assuming the taxes are gonna be $6 million, $6 million. And that's what they're asking us to give for 7 years.
No, it 6 million, what do you mean $6 million now?
Well, you're saying $3.6 million is a total.
Yeah, $3.6 million.
So, I'm sorry,
is- yeah,
$600,000.
$600,000. And
That
so-
you're assuming is gonna be a tax, what we would raise in taxes if we got the taxes.
So in other words, Golick Brothers is estimating that if they paid the school district taxes and the county council taxes over the course of 7 years, that would equate to approximately $600,000. Yes.
So that's taxes that, if they were there and they were paying taxes, that the county and the school district would not get.
Yes.
Were we able to check with an attorney whether it can be changed as far, or done, since there's a stipulation on the land that it will revert to the school district? If, how can you change property over, as I asked before, that it's stipulated to come back to us if this program does not happen?
Well, and so obviously, the way that happens is to put deed restrictions in the transfer. And so we've not gotten to the point of doing a deed transfer, but it has been noted that we want to put some deed restrictions in the deed transfer.
Has this property gone through zoning to change it?
No, we're in the process of getting it rezoned currently.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Let me just end by saying this. Quite honestly, this is an exciting day for not only the Fairfield County School District, but Fairfield County as a whole. The fact that we have a private investment firm who is willing to come and invest millions of dollars into a project here that not only provides us a greater opportunity to recruit and retain qualified staff members, but also to provide a shot in the arm economically to our community. And so I am extremely excited about the opportunity for us to be one of the first, definitely in South Carolina, but in many respects all over the country, to really pull something like this off. So we're very excited about it and look forward to seeing this happen. You wanna move on, Judge?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
unless anybody's got any other.
Yeah.
There you go.
And so the next thing on the agenda, it was really done in error. So you see the fundraising request, Carolina Panthers. The board no longer hears fundraising requests, and so that really should not have been placed on the agenda as an action item. But I'll discuss it nonetheless for information. Ms. Brown and her organization, the Elite Ladies Group, is in the process of working on a fundraising opportunity where they would work concessions at the Carolina Panthers football game. I think there are 6 or 7 remaining home football games. And so, quite honestly, this provides them with an opportunity to not only collaborate and work together, but to also have some skin in the game in terms of investing some sweat equity in some of the things that they hope to do throughout the course of the year. And so, obviously, investing some energy and work towards what you hope to accomplish is always a positive thing. And so that's something that they have been pursuing on their own. And so I just present that to you as information. This is something that the Elite Ladies organization is pursuing. Any questions?
Yes, and, Mr. Chair, Dr. Green, so the Elite Ladies are not a club of the school district,
What do you mean on a club of the school district?
or they're a club of the school district?
Yes.
They are.
Yes, yes. You almost lost me if I say yes.
Okay. This is the first venture where students have gone out of state to do fundraisers, so correct?
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Chair, why would the board not approve our students going out of state for a fundraiser?
Just to provide some clarification, Ms. McDaniel, we made some modifications to the policy several years ago. At one point in time, anytime students travel out of state, the board had to approve it. Several years ago, if you remember, we modified that and said the only time the board approves it if it is out of state, to include North Carolina and Georgia. So students are within the states of South Carolina, North Carolina, and Georgia. That's something that the board does not need to approve. Or if they travel out of state or overnight. And so if it is an overnight trip, that is something the board needs to approve. If it is something outside of North Carolina, Georgia, and South Carolina, that is something that the board approves.
And I do recall that.
Yeah.
For travel, for field trips and educational
Yes.
purposes, but not fundraising.
And you're right, this is the first time we've ever had an opportunity where any organization has traveled to North Carolina, Charlotte, in terms of a fundraiser. So there's nothing in our policy that would suggest that the board would need to approve it, because it's never been presented before. This is the first time we've ever had this to happen. But there's nothing that would suggest that the board needs to approve it because it's a fundraiser in the state of North Carolina.
I guess my concern, just like it was when we approved the field trips,
Okay.
and we are not approving students crossing state lines. When you cross state lines and something happens, then you get in situations where felonies could result. And I just think it's, I mean, the majority of the board was okay with it, but I just think it's a little, I don't even know the word to use, for us to allow the students to cross the state line and go out of state and the board not approve it. But, if it's okay with the majority, then that's fine, but
So Ms. McDaniel, even though there's nothing in the policy that would suggest the board needs to approve it, the board is welcome to approve it. I
I
mean,
know
so,
that ain't my decision.
yeah, I mean, y'all can still approve it.
I know we don't approve anything we want to,
Yeah.
so, that's up to the chair. I'm just expressing my concern. So, you know, we can move on, approve it or not approve it, but, that was my concern.
Anything further on it? That's all you got, right? Is that everything in superintendent?
That's it, that's
Okay.
it, that's
That
it.
concludes superintendent report. Curriculum and instruction.
Good evening. For your approval, are out-of-state overnight field trips for Giger Elementary, Fairfield Elementary, Fairfield Career and Technology Center, Fairfield Central High School, and Kelly Miller Elementary, and Fairfield Middle School.
All right, this time, Chair, entertain a motion regarding the overnight out-of-state field trips listed in those documents.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the overnight and out-of-state field trips for Giger Elementary, Fairfield Elementary, Fairfield Career and Technology, Kelly Miller Elementary, Fairfield Central High, and Fairfield Middle. Provided I get a second.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. It has been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Mr. Miller to approve the out-of-state overnight field trips for Giger Elementary, Fairfield Elementary, Career Technology Center, Kelly Miller, Fairfield Central, and Fairfield Middle Schools. Any discussion on that?
Yeah, no questions. Some of those didn't have the amounts. Any particular reason or?
So Ms. McDaniel, those that didn't have an amount, the school district was funding the entire cost.
Now, if memory serves me correctly, wrestling, the students have to pay to go compete. Correct?
but I thought it was covered. I may have read it wrong. That one's under Fairfield Central, I believe.
Yeah, so what it says, Ms. McDaniel, it says cost of trip $200, cost to student $0.
Okay.
And there's two of them, I believe, on there.
I guess then that would still take me back to the first question is, so if we saying zero, because the district is gonna pay for them, then why do we have the cost for the other ones even though the district still is gonna pay for them?
That's just something where they went over and above and beyond what we generally asked them to do.
It would be nice if we know what the trips cost. Okay. All right, thank you, sir.
Anything else on field trip? Now, just to clarify, we're talking about trips, we're not talking about funding at this time, correct?
Exactly.
Am I stating that correctly?
So either the trips that have been approved, they'll embark upon fundraising, or there's money already allocated in the budget to fund it. So it's not a request of the board to allocate the funding.
Anything further?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
when that's put in the minutes, can it be stated that on the minutes, please? I know the last time that was not a tail ended.
Okay, yes, ma'am, we'll get that in.
Thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approving of the field trips as indicated in board docs, please indicate by raising your right hand. I believe that is 7-0. Thank you.
The second item for your approval is second reading of policy IKADD, administrative rule, IKADD-R, and exhibit application, and IKADD-E, content and credit recovery. In the document that is attached for your review, we made some minor grammatical changes that are indicated in red to the track changes document that's listed in board docs. And there's also a copy of the final draft with those changes incorporated.
All right, this time Chair entertain a motion in regard to the second reading of those stated policies.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion to accept the superintendent recommendation to approve second and final reading of policy IKADD, administrative rule IKADD, -R, and exhibit application IKADD-E, content and credit recovery. So now I get a second.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Mr. Davis to approve second and final reading of policy IKADD, administrative rule IKADD-R, IKADD-E, and content and credit recovery. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I know when we approved first reading, I didn't have any questions on this, but somewhere I read in here, and it made a change. And, they can let you know. The students do not receive a change in their grade if they fail the course and they take the credit recovery unless they repeat the full course. So why would the student use credit recovery portions of the course?
So I think what you're referring to, Ms. McDaniel, what the State Department wanted to ensure is students don't necessarily benefit related to GPA as a function of doing credit recovery. So in other words, if I made a 68 in class, all right, a 58 in class, and then I did credit recovery. Well, I can earn the credit, but they have a structure where it doesn't negatively or positively impact my GPA. And so it has a neutral effect on your GPA. Even though you earn the credit, it doesn't hurt you or help you in terms of your GPA. And the reason they did that is, just think about it from this perspective. Let's say I'm a kid who I'm in the class, and I'm working diligently, and I have a 62 average, but I make it. All right, I get the credit for the course. I made a D. I got a 62. Well, kid beside me, he makes 58. He does credit recovery. It wouldn't be fair if he does credit recovery, but then ultimately he can get a higher grade than I did when I didn't fail the course in the beginning. So in other words, they're in a structure where even though you can recover the credit, it doesn't positively or negatively impact your GPA. Whatever credit you earn initially is the credit that is the grade that remains.
Okay, so if the student failed the course, what advantage is it to the student for credit recovery because it's failed? They have to just retake the whole course.
Yeah, so just imagine, if I fail the course with a 58, I can either take the entire course again, or I can do credit recovery over the course of a few weeks and then get the credit. So the initial grade is going to stay on the transcript. I mean, either way,
And that's an F.
if I fail.
So how you getting credit for a class with an F?
No, so what I'm saying is you are getting credit for the course, it's just not negatively or positively impacting your GPA.
Well, I'm still confused on the advantage to the student of taking the course if it has an F. So the state is saying that they can still go ahead and graduate and count that course?
No, so you are getting an F. I mean, it's changing from an F to a passing grade once you complete credit recovery.
But just doesn't factor into the GPA?
Just doesn't factor into the GPA.
Brilliant man.
Anything you want to add to that, Dr. Davis?
Am I the only one crazy?
I think that's ridiculous. Something needs to be changed there somewhere.
Hey, when did they make this decision?
State Department has been working on this grade scale now, and actually I'm on a committee that's working on that.
Oh, well, no offense to you then, I apologize.
No, no offense taken. No
Okay.
offense taken. But they've been working on this for a while.
I need to work with them.
What's the point of finish?
You're passing the code. Get credit.
So that person probably not gonna go on any further because it's too close.
But now with the student report card, how does that play into those courses that students will be graded on, science and social studies, math, and whatever the course is?
I follow what you mean with the new report card.
Well, they showed that they had a webinar today
Okay.
from the State Department of Education talking about the new report card and all the changes to it and how the grades will factor into the report card. So if a student fails a course and retake the course, and the course doesn't impact their GPA, then it still looks negative on the student achievement portion of the report card.
Yeah, so as it relates to school report card, Ms. McDaniel, they aren't talking about grades that students earn in school. They're talking about in-course scores. So in other words, they're talking about an in-of-course test grade. They're talking about a U.S. history in-of-course test, an algebra 1 in-of-course test, an English 1 in-of-course test. That's really separate from the grade that the student actually earned in class.
But they have other areas that even though it may not count into it, it still goes on the report card, and it's still reviewed, and it's still be negative to the student, to that particular student.
So I'm not sure exactly what area you're talking about. You're saying it's not used in a calculation of the report card?
They have several areas on it that's not used in the calculation. But anyone can look at the report card and they see that so many students didn't do well on a particular subject, then just look at it. See, many of the students retake the class. I mean, I'm not why we so different from college. It recalculates the GPA. It just doesn't negate the other course.
Mr. Pruitt?
Yes, ma'am.
I was on that webinar as well, and I did call, there was a number you could call to request a copy of the handouts, and I've requested one for all of the copy of them, so.
No, thank you, ma'am.
It's
Anything further?
complicated now. It is complicated.
I don't doubt it. It sounds like it. Anything further on that at this time? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving second and final reading of policy AK, if I could read, I ain't got glasses on. AK, IK, ADD, AKIDR, IKADDD, and content and recovery. Indicate by raising your right hand. Slide 6, in favor, negative? Thank you, ma'am.
And Mr. Frank, I want the record to reflect that I voted against this policy because to me, it is not healthy for a student who takes a course and receive absolutely no opportunity for it to count towards their GPA.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think the I is more than the J,
All right, operations and finance.
Good evening. Item number 1 under operations and finances is September 2018 finance report for board review.
Any questions, issues, concerns on the September report? Seeing none, go forward.
The second item, we have facility usage request. The superintendent recommends the board approve 3 facility usage requests for Fairfield Central High School with waiver of fees for Chosen Voices on October 16th and 28th, Beautifully Blessed Productions on November the 10th, and Fairfield County Coroner's Office on December the 1st.
Chair will entertain a motion regards to those facility usage. I want to do them all at once or individually. I'll leave that up to whoever makes a motion.
Mr. Chairman, that we accept the recommendation coming from the superintendent on the facility waiver for all 3 of them. Yes.
All right, thank you. Second. Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. McDaniel, it's been seconded by Pastor Jackson to approve the facility usage and fee waiver for the 3 listed uses. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. 7-0. Thank you.
Item number 3 is the general fund surplus transfer and fund balance commitment. The superintendent recommends board approval of a transfer of $2.5 million from the general fund to the capital projects fund for the 2017-18 fiscal year, and a commitment of $1 million of the fiscal year 17-18 budget surplus towards salaries.
All right, I know we'll have discussion here, but if we could get a motion in regards to it so we can get it on to the floor.
Chair?
Yes, sir.
Accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the transfer of $2.5 million in the general fund to cash profit for 2017-2018 fiscal year, and to commit $1 million to the fiscal year 2017-2018 budget surplus towards salaries. Finding the second.
Second.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Mr. Miller, it's been seconded by Ms. Harrison to approve the transfer of $2.5 million from the general fund to the capital projects for 2017-18 fiscal year, and a commitment of $1 million for the 17-18 surplus towards the salaries. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Or-
Personal privilege. That is freezing in here.
I'm sitting closer to the.
Oh, ladies, boy.
Not wearing a jacket, I agree.
I thought to myself, I'm glad I got a
That's the Indian paper. That's the paper.
I think we have someone on the case, Mr. McDaniel. We're working on it as we speak.
I've been trying, but I'm like, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead, go ahead. Well, yeah, I was gonna see if y'all had questions of it, or if you just wanted Dr. Green to explain what the proposal is.
Yeah, let me explain it.
Okay. I figured that's what she's gonna make it do.
No, I don't know about that. First of all, we're very excited about the fact that we have a surplus once again this year. I'd like to thank
Robinson and the staff doing an excellent job managing the resources that we have been provided. And as a result, we have a surplus at the end of the year, as we have in virtually every other year that I've been here. And so what we are requesting is that we commit $2.5 million of the $3.5 million surplus towards a list of capital improvement items that you see listed in board docs. The other thing that is a little different is we're asking that we transfer $1 million of this to, in essence, the fund balance, which will be used in the general fund for the 2019-2020 budget. And the reason that we want to transfer $1 million to the 2019-2020 budget is that we're in the process. I told y'all several months ago that we are going to make a very substantial salary proposal come next year. And this puts us in a position where we can financially manage the salary proposal. And so I'll tell you some things that we're working on will benefit all employees substantially. And it will require more resources than the $1 million. But the $1 million puts us in a better position to be able to accomplish this. And so that's why we're talking about transferring $1 million to the fund balance, which would then go to the 1920 salaries account because of our salary proposal for 1920. Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Green, on the $1 million for the salaries, if you haven't put it in a year ahead, how are we going to maintain that in the future?
That's a very good question. And so ultimately, Ms. Hartman, we think that we can incorporate the entire thing in the budget. Okay? Putting $1 million in advance obviously gives us a little bit more latitude to be able to accomplish that. But even if we didn't have the $1 million, I think we probably could make that fit in the budget. But that just gives us some wiggle room, for lack of a better word. It gives us more opportunities in terms of the things that we want to propose.
These other items that are on the list here that you provided us with the capital improvements,
Yes, ma'am.
those weren't anything that was in the budget that you thought to budget already?
I don't follow your question.
That was currently in this year's budget? These are extra to that? Is that what you're saying? Are these currently
Are
in
these
this
things that are
year's
currently
budget?
budgeted?
Yes, sir.
No, ma'am. No, these are not things that are currently budgeted. So let's say, for example, Ms. Hartman, let's take the first one. So bathroom upgrades. So obviously we've done some bathroom upgrades over the course of the year. We've done some bathroom upgrades this year with facilities that range all the way back to 1965. We have lots of bathrooms that need upgrades. And so, yeah, we've done some bathroom upgrades, but have we upgraded all the bathrooms throughout the district? Absolutely not. And so where you may say, well, have we not done any bathroom upgrades over the years? Yes, we have. We've even done some this year, but we realize that there are some additional upgrades that we need to accomplish.
So some of it, I would call it deferred maintenance. Is that what, like the bathrooms, is that a fair assessment? We're able to do it now because we have the surplus that we can move over. Is that?
We're maintaining some of our buildings.
So I don't know
They need to be
I
maintained.
guess you can say deferred maintenance, Mr. Fred. I mean, obviously, over the course of the year, there are lots of things that you identify that you would like to see occur as relates to facility upgrade. I mean, we've been identifying things over the last 7 years, and so obviously we hadn't accomplished all that we wanted to do. We've come quite a long way, but this is just a continuation of that entire movement where we're trying to address our facilities and get them to a point that I think we all should be proud of.
The funds for the field house, is that paid for now?
Yes, ma'am. So there is no field house funding in this budget.
So out of all of our new construction or additions are totally paid for, except for the Career Center.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Dr. Green,
Yes, ma'am.
and if you don't know, it's okay, but do you know at the top of your head what the field house was per square foot? You find out and let me know. I wanna see if, when they were discussing the Mount Zion project in county council, they tossed out some figures for the career center and the field house. And I just wanna see if they are accurate. So you mind let us know what those are. Okay, second question, Abbeville, we spent all of that money on the sprinkler system in that fix.
And more. And so, yeah, so our Abbeville money didn't even cover the cost of all the sprinkler system and lighting upgrades.
Okay. All right, third one, I do thank you for, putting the money in for the salaries. But I'm still a little disappointed that, we're not addressing the people making $13,000-14,000 this year. Especially if we got $3.5 million left over. But then December's coming, and I guess, do you have money in the budget for bonuses?
Yes, we do.
Have you told us how much?
You told me how much.
How much you told
Yeah,
us?
so you asked me to put $200 in the bonus in the budget last year.
200, that's for everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no way possible people making $13,000-14,000 can get a little more than that, since we have $3.5 million that left over?
Well, Ms. Benania, you have the fiduciary responsibility. I'll let you make that determination. As I said, we are preparing for what I think is going to be a very, very robust salary proposal. And so we're trying to put ourselves in a position to accomplish that.
I understand robust, Dr. Green, but what about equity and fairness? $13,000? Come on, really?
But as it relates to equity and fairness, Ms. McDaniel, you've not even heard my proposal yet. And so I guess you can't really speak to whether
But
it's
you said it's for
equitable.
next year.
It's for next year, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's for next year. And so
What
it's
was
not,
it this year?
I'll defer to you, Ms. McDaniel.
All right, then I'm gonna test my boards.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that, the superintendent find within the budget enough money for anybody making less than $20,000 to get a $500 bonus.
Is that an amendment or, because we already have a motion second on the floor on this particular.
Okay, then I'm
Right.
amending. Can I amend it? Is it a friendly amendment? What's the motion? What should I read?
It's not technically really a friendly amendment.
Oh, okay,
I
so
think you gotta amend it and then we gotta vote on it.
Well, I just followed his recommendation that I could just put a motion on it.
No, I didn't.
Well, I didn't do that.
Did Dr. Green come up with what that figure would be if you did that? And come back to us next board meeting?
Well, you know, if we're concerned about our staff, and we have $3.5 million left over in the budget this year, our heart of hearts should tell us that $500 is not much to give up.
Because he's wanting to transfer to this.
Yeah, but there's more money in it.
Is that a motion, Ms. McDaniel?
That was a motion.
All right. Is there a second to the motion? Hearing no second, Ms. McDaniel. I'm sorry, your amendment to the motion failed.
Well, I'm not sorry that I put it on the floor. I'm sorry that you guys don't care enough about our people going to make $13,000.
Mr.
I
Chair,
appreciate your statement.
I care about our people, but if you're gonna give it to some, give it to all. I say give it to all of them. Give everybody $500.
Well,
I'm not
let-
making that.
Let's
There's
see
no,
what we're.
no
what we're
equity in
looking
somebody
for.
making $13,000 who work all year for our children and somebody who making 80, 90, and 100. No,
All right.
not.
Thank you, ma'am. Any further discussion on the matter that is before us? Seeing none, it's been motioned and
But
seconded.
before you,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, Dr. Green, have the auditors come in and have they, where are the status of the audit?
I'd like Kevin to speak to that.
Yes, they have come in and, there's a updated finance report for June, we agree on the numbers. There may be a minor change, a couple of $1,000, but basically that's the amount that we both agreed upon in terms of the surplus.
But are they finished? Or-
They're not finished with all of the statements, but the audit work, all of that is done.
Okay, and that deadline is December first? They have to
The
use
third.
the third. Okay. So we basically making this recommendation based on the status of the audit.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anything further? All right, all those in favor of approving the transfer of the $2.5 million from the general fund to the capital funds and $1 million to the fund, what did I say, general fund? General fund for the employee salaries for the next year. Indicate by raising your right hand. Yeah, that's 5 negative. 2 negative, thank you.
And Mr. Chair, I want the record to reflect that I voted against that motion because I feel that we should do better by our staff for making $13,000, $14,000 a year.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Human resources.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Under Human Resources, item 1, certified resignations and terminations. Superintendent advises the board of resignations and/or terminations of professional certified working retired staff members employed on letters of agreement for the 2018-19 academic school year. This particular exhibit is presented to you as information and requires no action.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, under Human Resources, we have certified recommendations where the superintendent recommends the board approve certified staff for academic year 2018-19. This is indicated in exhibits 2A and 2B.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, Chair, entertain a motion regarding certified recommendations in Exhibit 2A and 2B.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation, the board approve the following certified educators for academic year 2018-2019, Exhibit A and B.
Second.
Thank you. It's been motioned by Ms. Harrison, seconded by Pastor Jackson, that we approve the certified staff and academic professionals for 2018-19 in Exhibits 2A and 2B. As this is personnel, no discussion. All those in favor indicate by raising your right hand. 7-0. Thank you. I think we're down to me. What am I supposed to update everybody on? Next meeting. All right, this is the quiz. What's the next meeting, everybody? When or where? Kelly Miller. All right. We will be over at Kelly Miller on November the 13th. All right. That will be the week after the election day, so everybody go out and vote. I'm sure everybody sitting at this table is going to go out and do that. All right. No, week after. No, yeah, we're not doing that. No, this is the week after that. All right.
Mr. Chair, the items that Mr. Yarborough mentioned in public comment, are we gonna go back in executive session and get more advice on what he's talking about, or are we just going to ignore what he's talking about, even know what he's talking about?
We're gonna make a motion to go to executive session. That is provided for on the agenda.
I mean, I don't know all the details of what he's talking about, so I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. There's some, I'm sure Dr. Mead know more about it. Is it anything we need to discuss, or
When you say there's anything that you can discuss, and obviously, a recommendation that we go with, basically, situation. So that's the decision that the board.
is that not already part of our, appeal process?
Probably does go that way.
for whoever needs something. What about the training, special needs, is there something that?
Yeah, I'll review how extensive that is, and whether we need to expand it like that. I'll take that, sure that comes.
Do I get a motion?
So, how do we handle that? Leave it up to the next meeting or
So as it relates to that, as I said, I mean, I think our policy, I'm almost sure our policy provides for an opportunity that an employee can request to be heard by the board. So I'll just communicate that to those employees that they can make that request to be heard by the board.
Now, the situation, if I heard them correctly, happened September 12th. And it's now October, and they didn't already know that they could have been heard by the board, or we just late getting it. It could have been heard tonight.
That's not a request that has been made.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Adjourn till next November meeting, which is on what date?
13.
13th, right next to the
Second.
Been motion second to adjourn. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Nay. Thank y'all. See y'all at county meeting. Yes, sir. That's what the thing said. I don't know. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
What you need, boy?
All right, take care of that. All right. Y'all be good. I gotta be here to see you tonight, man. All right, Herbie. All right, thank you, man. Excuse my left hand.
All right, Mr. Y'all, I appreciate the final remarks, huh? Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Yes, I did.
I got it. I don't have any comment.
I'm going home now. Doing okay?
It's preliminary hearing of the judge found no probable cause.
Have fun.
They had no evidence that he committed the crime. The judge agreed.
Sat down. Sit down.
I don't write the laws. My job is just to defend the folks that are in charge of the law.
Surely your client's happy to look at that.
Absolutely.
Any other firms, other thoughts, or?
All right. Yes, sir. Let's see.
Yeah, Doc, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. That's what the school board means.
God bless you.
How you doing, man? Back in those days that he talked about, you couldn't leave. If you did, you were on contract term. That's what Hurley Tennessee did. Yeah. Hurley Tennessee.
So you're trying to use that as a special, what you keep on the basis.
Yes, back in the day.
I just didn't understand why they said, and I think that's the check. See,
I signed them.
you did, superintendent say that, the district was doing a
I'll make sure I got my
pay
homework.
for it. You know, them, and they talking
But you
about
know, I was
$1
calling
million
in the morning.
So I was like,
Text
wondering where they get them numbers from.
Yeah, we met them last night, I mean, there's four.
Well, he said he was gonna, he was gonna go along with it. Well, you know, they gotta go along with it, now they gonna have to put them out.
Yeah, you want me to get these in? Sure. I'm trying to catch this Taylor and the senior night.
What's senior night?
It's to the senior night, so my Janelle is overseeing on the team.
They over at the high school?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so what they do?
The event started at 5:30, that's why I ran in here at the last minute. So
You should've told me, I would've heard you get out of here.
yeah, well.
I'm clear, I'm clear. I'm flying, but it means. Girl, they nice, ain't they?
I'm telling you.
That's gonna be different from Fairfield.
Leave out the district office and be at the
I know it.
to work, no gas. No gas? I mean, that's a win-win. Yes. I was not expecting to see that. It's a transfer system, pick up a Fairfield. Yes. Yeah. Put my bag, put it here.
They went to Curtis? Who?
I knew you were gonna pick it up. That's why Mr. Miller couldn't talk during his motion. I said, he's even one of them shoe worthers.
Yeah, cause if you don't swallow, if you don't swallow them correctly, you get messed up.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
I like the jewel ones. Oh, it was that name? She related to the Janelles over on Janelle Capitan. Uh-huh. 8:30.
I'm trying to think what I'm gonna get y'all good like.
Right hand side.
Nick.
Yeah, they had it up.
No reports, that's all.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where's my mom at?
No offense. Also, Mr. Davis, you taking your water or?
No matter.
You better take that water and drink it.
Yeah, I get one.
You start having kidney problems?
All right.
All right, y'all have a good night. Like a storm coming.